Greetings everyone and welcome back to World of Warships with the Hive Hand. Now today I'm doing something I don't normally do. Today I'm reviewing somebody else's gameplay in an event to make the average casual player just a little bit better at the game. So I would like to introduce you to my good buddy Drasdo, or Draz as he's known to the boys. And he is quite possibly one of the most competent carrier players I know. So we're going to be reviewing his gameplay and seeing how we can, what we can take from him and show the general player base how to improve their carrier play. As you can see him very early on baiting the enemy carrier to drop fighters, which is an absolute waste of fighters. So thankfully for his team, and he's doing some laps around, and he's decided that HMS Hood is going to be his first early victim. As you can see, because he's aiming a battleship, he's getting his battleship aiming reticle on the nose. With that being on the nose, as you can see, he got a pretty clean drop there on the Hood, set a fire, and has already scored 10,000 damage. And that's going to continue to rise. We're going to pay attention because the enemy carrier is Durand Egan, part of WOWSL, one of or arguably the best World of Warships Legends fleet out there at the moment, and also a very competent carrier player. So this makes it difficult. So you might wonder why he's randomly dropped a set of planes. Basically, he's trying to preserve them. Those two fighters, bombers, are going to go back to the carrier, and they're going to be ready to relaunch, rather than him sail into a bunch of enemy battleships, lose all his planes, and only get one drop off. So why he's doing that is to try and manage his losses as he takes a rather mediocre drop onto the Bismarck, but he does set a fire. He's got a couple of planes left. Like these planes, chances are they would have been lost. So he's gone to focus on the enemy CV. He's going to make a drop and head back to his ship. So one thing to point out. So far we've hit the Hood. We've hit the Bismarck. We've hit the carrier. He's not focusing a single target. There is literally no point in focusing just one target. From a player perspective, it's incredibly annoying when you get solely focused down by a carrier. But if you're a carrier player and you're doing that, you're actually doing a bit of a disservice to his team. He's paid attention that this Toulon is pushing quite hard down the flank, and they don't really have a whole lot of support. So he's dropping some torps just in case that Toulon pushes out. He's going to redetect the Toulon. He's going to spin round. Implacable it doesn't provide the biggest punch, but its agility and its strength of its plane's ability to stay in the sky is really good. And you're going to see Draz taking full effect of that as he hits two torpedoes on the Toulon. He's going to launch another set of torpedo planes. It's a little bit unfortunate that his team are all sort of clustered up in like the same like 4 squares here. But as you can see now, he's decided to. I'm not saying he's decided to pick the other flank, but he's convinced himself that that Toulon is going to slow his push. He's also decided to move his carrier back further away, but still remaining behind like the mass of his ships. There's a lot going on, and he doesn't instantly decide where to go. He notices that the Ostrogothland is spotted and in a fight with his buddy Wallach in the DD, so he decides to go after the DD. And this is where you should pay attention, folks. You see where he aimed at the Toulon? The Toulon was reversing, so he gave quite a bit of not very much lead. On the DD, he gives quite a lot. It's a significantly larger lead, which it should be because it's a significantly faster boat. And there we go, he picks up his first kill and takes out a destroyer. Even in the scores, the teams are now 1-1 on losses, and Draz's team does have the slight lead at the moment, but I assure you folks, this is going to be no walk in the park. I've watched this match once, and that was enough to decide, yeah, this was definitely worth making a video about. Now, I believe he's going to go and talk this Bismarck next. And this is something I really want, if you want to learn how to get good at carriers, this is something you really need to pay attention to, is how he aims. So he thinks he's going to go there, the aiming cone closes in really nice and tight. He sees that the battleship is, the Bismarck is reversing slowly, and that should give him a really nice angle to score a further 2 torpedo hits. He's not going to do huge damage to anything, but it's the damage over time that's really going to make the difference. You're going to see he's torn here. He wanted to torp the Bismarck, but he has decided that this Wichita is a bigger threat, and look at the additional lead that he has given that Wichita compared to what he was doing on the Toulon and the Bismarck. And there he goes, another 2 hits, another perfect strike by Draz. And as you can see him again, he's moving his carry. He's trying to stay close to his main fighting group. 1, you know, he'll be supported there. And 2, it also allows him to get his planes back into the fight sooner. You definitely don't want to keep your carry at the very back of the map. You're going to see the same thing from Negan as well on the enemy team. I thought he was going to go for the Toulon there, but he's decided to go for the slightly easier shot on the hood. Scores another, just shy of 5,000 damage, but unfortunately not that many fighters. He's dropped his own fighters because he's seen the carrier, and he's going to now attract his attention to the Toulon. And he's going to try and line up a perfect, and see again with the bomb drops, see how on a battleship he was lining up his aiming reticle on their nose, whereas he was giving the cruisers a lot more lead. It's really something that I think you see a lot of carrier players mess up on, is getting their lead right, and that really is something that you 100% need to pay attention to. A second thing I'd like to note, you'll see, like, I wait until that white circle is over the ship I'm attacking. Draz does that significantly earlier. That gives him like more time to aim with a really tight aiming cone. Obviously that Toulon was going a bit slower, so he released his bombs a little bit later. And there you go. He picks up kill number 2 as he's going to go once again on the hunt for the hood. And again, things are looking really good for his team. They had a 3-ship lead, which was just reduced to an even lead very, very quickly as he scores another fire. And then we see, yeah, you can see Duran here. He has pushed right round the flank and keeping him safe, keeping himself away from the main battle, but not making himself an easy target for anyone. And also staying close to his little battle group over here. As Draz scores 5k damage and sets a fire, which appears to actually be burning. I would assume the auto repair consumable would have kicked in, and again, Draz swapping targets. We are going back over to this flank, and I believe he's going to look to focus on the Bismarck again. But obviously, much later, you can see how he's swapping around. He's never solely focusing the same flank at any given time, and that looks like a very clean drop from the Bismarck. Very poor damage, no fires, but that has tipped Draz over 100,000 damage. And like you see how early he's setting his planes up. to get that really tight grouping. Bismarck unfortunately quickly changes from going forward into reverse, from going reverse into going forward, sorry, and doesn't quite take the full strike we'd be expecting. But you see Draz has switched back now again to his torpedo bombers, but you know he's done really really well with managing his planes, which again is another thing that you see a lot of carriers doing. They'll panic, they'll focus on one ship, or they'll focus on the main bulk of the fighting group. They'll lose all of their planes, and then when you get into these later stages, they'll really struggle to be able to maintain any kind of sustained fires. But Draz is looking good there. He gets himself a high caliber. Now this is quite nice. He's going to use the island as cover for his approach, not taking a fire, and because of Implacable's really short arming range, I don't see how he misses those, and he doesn't. He gets another 2 and causes a fire. Things have, if you've been paying attention to the scoreboard, started to go quite badly. They're now actually shipped down, and the enemy team they're not giving up. They are 100% not giving up this fight at all. And now they're the only ones with caps. And that Flood picks up his 4th kill. Now, there is just himself and the battleship, 2 battleships against an Amalfi and Negan in the enemy cruiser. Enemy CV, my god. Hive. but he is also up to 142,000 damage. So he decided that he didn't want to fight the planes. He didn't want to take on the fighters. He dropped back, quickly got himself into some HE bombers. Those fighters won't exist by the time he gets there, which should give him a much cleaner run in. As again, late stage of the game, he's trying to conserve his planes. So he does in fact do a sort of early drop to conserve those HE bombers. I would be focusing on the Saipan with the HE bombers. It's got slightly weaker armor, and like you want that chance to cause a fire, because the carrier will put the fire out automatically as long as it's got a repair party available. So, as suspected, the Saipan 100% did automatically put out that fire, but Draz is already on his way back with some torpedo bombers. Now, pay attention to the scoreboard, folks. This match is very quickly turning around, and Draz needs to be very smart here. He needs to pick one ship to focus on, one ship to kill. Otherwise, the game is going to be a loss, because the enemy team are going to pick up the points. He has lost another one of his battleships. He throws away 2 torpedo bombers. Like, yeah, you can say he could have turned them into the Amalfi and maybe got them off there, but he has decided that Negan is going to be his sole focus to get the win, as he turns in, drops off some torpedoes, wastes no time. He's not sitting there looking to see if he's not going to hit the target like he usually does. He realizes the time is precious at the moment. Quickly returns to his carriers and gets that what should be the final set of HE bombers off. As tempting as it is to hit the Amalfi, his resolve, should we say, stays strong. He completely ignores the Amalfi, flies straight by. With just 25 seconds left to go, the scoreboard flips in favour of the enemies. Is Draz going to pick up the kill? Negan is flooding. He did just get a fire and a few more thousand damage. 10 seconds left on the clock. The enemy are now in the lead by 30 points. 4, 3, He gets the Kraken unleashed, picks up the kill, flips the scoreboard just in their way, and manages to not only pick up the Kraken, but also pick up the win. GG's, Draz. Thank you very much for that. I do hope you casual CV players out there have taken something away from this absolutely beautifully played match by Draz. I want to shout out to Negan on the enemy team as well. He looked like he had a really good game as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by. I do hope you enjoyed. And of course, until next time, take care.